to The Game Debate, a 10-minute discussion wherein Webb the Critical Android and Stefan JD will debate the merits or lack thereof of a video game they have both played. They each will receive exactly 3 minutes to present their opening arguments. Afterwards, they will receive a 1-minute rebuttal. Following the rebuttal period, they will both have 1 additional minute to issue their final thoughts. Debaters, to your positions.
Three-minute review. 3, 2, 1, go!
So I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. Jason is my favorite slasher. And going back to this game, the Friday the 13th game that was developed by Atlas, who also made Superman 64, and published by LJN. LJN notoriously known for having published some of the shittiest games on the NES. Friday the 13th, I will counter, is not one of them. This game, to me, is a misunderstood game. The reason I think so is because people just didn't simply know how to play it, and it certainly wasn't informative in explaining how to do so. That is, unless you actually read the manual that came with your game. Inside of the manual to Friday the 13th on NES, it does explain exactly what you need to do and almost how to do it. There are certainly hints that it gives you, like getting a torch to light Jason on fire, which can certainly help in battle against him, rather than using a knife. Now, the simplicity of game is that you are essentially trying to kill Jason while Jason is trying to kill kids. Jason never tried to kill kids in the movies. In fact, when every time he countered kids, he just kind of stared at them. But he did kill teens. So I guess if you're going to be a teenager next camp summer, then look out. But in this video game, you are essentially hunting Jason. You are going down the trails of Camp Crystal Lake, and it is one gigantic circle. It can be confusing to navigate around them because it's one circle and then a concentric circle within. And if you are going right, you are always going right around the circle. If you took your finger and you kept going right around in a circle, that's how you move. And there are hidden places in this game, certain things you don't have to do, like finding Jason's mother and getting the sweater and taking her out and getting better weapons. You can still do all of it as long as the children don't die, which is on a timer. And I have beaten this game twice. And I can tell you right now that if you know what you're doing and you spend some time learning the dynamics of the game, you can beat Jason. What's left to say about this game other than the soundtrack is pretty simplistic? That's fine. It actually kind of works for the game. I wish it had more tracks. Certainly, I wish Jason wasn't purple, but then that would have led to me not owning a purple NECA character based off of this character that they made. Also, I have to say one more thing before we go. If you go look at the Japanese poster, Friday the 13th, Part 3, Jason is purple on it, so maybe that's what the developers were looking at when they made him purple in the video game. Thank you.
3-minute review. 3, 2, 1, go!
Friday the 13th for the NES is a game that is simultaneously ambitious and failed by ambition. 1989 was still early on for games of this kind of caliber, and they were attempting things that should probably not have been attempted. There are mechanics within this game that are not fleshed out enough to have warranted being a part of this. For example, there are adventure-style elements of it when you go into a cabin and they give you options for, like, look, trade, all these different things that you could do with one of the other camp counselors, or activating things. But things are not really spelled out, even with the help of the manual, which does help enlighten things if a person does bother to read it. But in general, a lot of this game's secrets are too obscure and too underdeveloped to be helpful. For example, the pitchfork item that you can obtain from locating Jason's mother, Pamela Voorhees, on the third night. Well, great, you're at the last part of the game. We didn't need the pitchfork now, we needed it earlier in the game. You should have given us that opportunity beforehand. So even the things that it does kind of offer up for you don't really end up helping in the long run. It's unique that you can switch between different counselors. Unfortunately, only 2 of the counselors are worth controlling, because even though they're supposed to have separate stats, there's only certain ones that actually matter and make a difference when it comes to being able to try to defeat Jason on each of the 3 days. So there should have been more variation that was placed into those counselors in order to make them worthwhile for specific situations. It's unfortunate that 4 of them are just that awful and only 2 of them are worth it. In addition, there are things that it doesn't fully explain, like the fact that you can do more damage to Jason when he's outside if you happen to find him than you can if you see him in a house. Even then, the mechanics for dodging and fighting Jason in the house are kind of obscure. It turns into like a really bad Punch-Out game. I wish they had focused on the core elements of this and either tried to excise the parts that didn't work or waited for a while for this game to come out on a system that could have done it justice. It is kind of a hot mess. I wish that I could give this game more credit than what other people do who really seem to enjoy this. But the fact that it's taken people analyzing this game and doing videos on it to show what this game is capable of for people to understand how to beat it and actually play it, the fact that it's had to take that in order for this game to get more attention and to spell it out for people is oh, that's how you play this game, is a sign of failure of development. The manual, yes, can take the place of some tutorials, but it shouldn't have to fill in that much, and we don't need videos to explain this damn game this time. I yield my time.
Rebuttal.
All right, well, the obscurity of the puzzles in this actually were reminiscent to me about the obscurity and hidden secrets of the original Zelda. I don't think obscurity in puzzles is bad. In fact, I know a lot of people complain that you don't get it anymore in games today. I'm fine with either one. And as far as I'm concerned with the camp counselors, I've always took it as, here's our 2 survivors, the male and the female, and the other teens are going to die. They're cannon fodder. That's why they suck. At least in my opinion, they're trying to establish little things here, little ticks. They're following the lore of including Pamela Voorhees. They're including the lake. They included a giant map, and they included 3 different ways to traverse around the world. So I think it was ambitious. You just needed to put it in the cooker a little bit longer, tweak a couple things, and you would have had a very successful game, especially if it had explanations to give you on how to play it.
Not to correct my esteemed colleague, but I do have to point out that in his first statement, he mentioned that this game was made by Atlas and then said that they were responsible for 64. You were thinking of Titus that was responsible for Superman 64. Completely different game company. Atlas is responsible for the Persona series and Shin Megami Tensei. That being said, continuing with my time. I'm stumbling. Oh, man, I'm screwing it up. My rebuttal's going to pieces. Your opinion sucks. No, that's what I'm going to say. This game really, it just needed more time in the cooker. You compare it to Zelda and how Zelda was obscure. Fair point, Zelda is obscure, but it's an adventure game that doesn't have a pressing sense of time looming over it and urgency. So you could take your time to figure out things, as opposed to Friday the 13th, where you don't have that luxury. Time is constantly pressing down on you, just as Jason's pressing down on you. And you may say that, yes, that does help the urgency and give it a sense of horror and impact. I would agree with you, but that would be better if the concepts were explained and you didn't have to figure them out so obscurely under pressure.
Final thoughts.
So, going back to being a big fan of Jason, I can see this game's flaws. The obscurity of everything, the intentions were there, they were good. They just need a little bit more time to work on this and refine it. I don't think that takes away from the game. If you're going to sit down and try to figure out this game, it's only going to take you 20 minutes because it's not that hard to figure out. And all you need to do is just sit down and go a couple rounds, and sooner or later, you're going to be on your second day. There's 3 days in the game, and on the third day, you're going to defeat Jason. This is one of those NES games that I will always advocate that people can pick up, and I will sit there and explain it to them. They will get it, and they will beat it. And if you're a fan of Jason, then there's definitely no reason at all you shouldn't go back to this. While the soundtrack is limited, it is still pretty awesome, and people do a lot of piano covers on YouTube. Check them out. I like this game.